This is the Hollyland Mars 400S wireless camera transmission system, and I have been using this over the past year. Used and abused, if you will. I used it under a drizzle, under a hot sun. Used it for almost a day. Just changed the batteries just to make it breathe a little bit and then gang-ho again. But then it still performs well up to this day. I haven't got any complaints about it until Hollyland introduced the new kit in town, the Mars 400S Pro. Yes, they added the Pro there in case you missed it. And we are going to talk about this in just a bit. But before that, let's roll the intro para mukhang pro. Hey, what's up guys, ryanaudencial, and boy, thanks so much for coming back here on my channel. Wireless camera transmitters nowadays are a must-have in production shoots. Obviously because 1. There is a pandemic. It allows us to keep a safe distance to our clients and fellow production crew. 2. Because of, again, the pandemic, live streaming is all we can do in terms of broadcasting events. This comes really handy. And number 3, because it's 2021. Wireless technology is definitely a must. Well, of course, it depends on the situation. But for me, if you are working with a ton of people, you need to at least use wireless technology to make the production process more efficient. So that's why I have this, the Mars 400S. This is one of those devices that I can't live without whenever I'm out shooting. But then Hollyland sent me these guys. It's the Mars 400S Pro. The Pro version is the same with these guys right here. They just remodeled it to give it a little swag and added new features as well. All the features of the Mars 400S, the old version, is in the Pro version. So if you want to know more about those features, you can watch my Mars 400S review video right here. Now that we are done with the old version, let me remove these guys here and focus on the new guys right here. And as I've said, the Pro version has the features of the old version. I will just tackle the new features of the Pro version here in this video, so there's that. Disclaimer, Hollyland did send me this pair just to test, but they didn't pay me to create this review video, so I am allowed to say anything and everything that I like and I don't like about this product. Now to officially start this review video, let me show you first what's in the box. Inside the box, you get a warranty card, a user manual, the transmitter, the receiver, a power supply adapter, and 5 antennas. One is extra in case you lose and one. That's it. The Mars 400S Pro is a wireless camera transmission system. Let's talk about the very obvious improvement first. The form factor. Compared to the old version, the design of the Pro version looks more appealing, and it doesn't just look good. The form factor is also more appropriate when it comes to how it sits on top of your camera. The old version features a vertical orientation. When it comes to mounting options, it needs an additional mounting plate and cold shoe mount just to put it on top of your camera, and look at this. Once you mount this on your camera, you won't have access to the screen. So there's that. The new version has a wider build to give it a lower gravity center. It has this built-in cold shoe mount, so mounting it on your camera will be a breeze. And take note, the receiver also has this cold shoe mount beneath it. Hollyland also made it easier for us to identify which is which. They added colors to it. Red is the transmitter and blue is the receiver. See? It's the little things. Thank you, Hollyland. As we all know, both the old version and the Pro version has HDMI and SDI connections. But this time, I think they are placed properly. At the back of the transmitter, we have an HDMI in, a USB-C port, a power button, and a DC in port. The SDI in is tucked in at the side, which made it more protected. Now at the back of the receiver, we have the same I/O placements, the HDMI out, power button, USB-C port, and a DC in port. The SDI out is also well hidden or tucked in there on the side. And for both the units, you have the antenna threads at the top. It also have a heat sink here so it won't get too hot. And speaking of heat management, it now features multiple fan mode, so you will never worry about the heat anymore. You can also see the status of your fan modes on the OLED display. And speaking of the OLED display, I like it better than the old version. It looks cleaner, I guess. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's because of the orientation. I don't know. Let's talk about the power options. In the old version, you only have two power options. Power option 1, the use of the Sony NPF batteries. Power option 2, the use of the DC power supply. Now, in the Pro version, they added a new power option. You can now power both the units with the use of the USB-C port at the back. You can use a USB-C cable and a 5 to 12 volt charging brick. Because of the Type-C power option, you can also use your power bank. Now let's talk about the range. Transmission signal wise, it has the same range with the old version. 400 foot with line of sight. Another new feature is the 0.1 second latency. This has less latency than the old version. To tell you honestly, I don't see much of a difference when it comes to the latency of both the old and the Pro version. And for me, latency is not a big deal when it comes to wireless camera transmission. For me, the main purpose of this system is to give us reference. See the shot composition. Things like that. Yes, it will be beneficial if it has low latency, but we are talking about split seconds here. I hope you got what I mean. Another new feature is the channel scan and firmware update using the Hollyview app. In the old version, you are obligated to do the channel scan and firmware update using just the unit. And as we all know, fiddling with small buttons is not that convenient. So you can now do those things using the app and your phone. Another new feature is the transmitter's ability to connect to a second receiver if you have an extra receiver. And yes, you can purchase just a receiver if you need it. So if you have one camera to transmit the signal in two separate monitors or inputs, that feature will do the trick. Now, if you use two receivers with one transmitter, you will lose the ability of connecting to mobile devices. If you use one receiver, you can connect up to two mobile devices. If you are just using the transmitter with no receiver, you can connect up to 4 mobile devices. Another new feature is the direct video live streaming. You can now stream wirelessly to your computer without using an expensive capture card, though you need to purchase Hollyland's inexpensive Type-C to RJ45 adapter. Using this adapter, you will be working with RTSP signal. It's like using an IP camera. Unfortunately, I haven't got the chance to make it work because I don't know how to get its RTSP URL. I am not that into IP addresses and stuff, so if you know how to get that, make sure to share it in the comment section below. Once you get the RTSP of your Mars 400S Pro, open up your streaming software, for example OBS, and then add a media source. Uncheck the local file box and then paste the RTSP URL of your Mars 400S Pro here. And then that should do the trick. It should give you the camera signal. Now that we are done mentioning all the new features, let me tell you my final thoughts about the Mars 400S Pro. And here are the things I like. Number 1, the design made it super convenient, especially the I/O ports and the cold shoe mount. Because there was this one, well, 2 times while I was using the old version, I forgot to bring the mounting plate and the cold shoe mount. So I didn't get the chance to use the transmitter properly. It was hanging like this the whole time. Number 2, the Type-C power option is perfect because sometimes I'm just using a tripod the whole shoot and it sucks to charge and change the batteries while you're using it. The old version only has one power supply included in the box, just like this one. I had to use an NPF battery for the other unit. The Type-C power option is a big help. Now here is the only thing that I don't like about the Mars 400S Pro. It didn't come with a travel case. Not a deal breaker, and I know this is rugged and can withstand drops, but hey, you never know. Having a travel case will definitely give me peace of mind. Now, who is these guys for? If you are a filmmaker that works with a big production crew, a videographer, or a director that does live streaming for your church events, weddings, and other live broadcasts, the Hollyland Mars 400S Pro will definitely help you make your production and coverages more efficient and successful. Now that has been my review of the Hollyland Mars 400S Pro. If you want to know more about this product, make sure to check out the links below. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell as well. Once again, this has been ryanaudencial. Thanks so much for being here, and see you in the next video.